I'll be joined at this hour by Anis Sajan, the Managing Director of Danube Group and owner of T10 team. Also by Amrit Mathur, who's a cricket administrator and an advisor to Dream 11. But Anis, before we go over to Amrit Mathur, where I am going to ask about fantasy cricket, did you make your fantasy team and did you have Rahul Tewatia in that tonight?
I did make, and I make every day, and I'm afraid I did not have him in my fantasy team. I would be lying if I said I did. What I saw today, I have never seen in my life in the history of cricket.
And did you think in the beginning, when the run chase had just begun, that this was possible, even though, you know, we knew that it would be a high-scoring match, Dew would be a factor in the second innings? Did you think chasing down 203 was possible?
Honestly, I would say yes, because I've seen many matches in Sharjah where a total of 200, 210, 215, 220 have been chased. I have been on the receiving side at one time in one of the matches in T10 where 155 runs were chased in 10 overs. So I wouldn't say that I did not feel it, but when Tewatia was struggling, I felt it's all done and dusted, and then the over of Cottrell changed it all. And as they said, this was a roller coaster ride. Someone up was writing a story about Tewatia, and it will be written in the history.
Mr. Mathur also joins us at this hour. You are an advisor to Dream 11, sir. Were you also making your fantasy team, and did you have Rahul Tewatia in that?
Well, I'm not sure many would have had him on the list today, but what an amazing turnaround. And at one point, he was being blamed for Rajasthan Royals. Yeah, he was being blamed for Rajasthan Royals losing a game. But what a turnaround, 5 sixes in an over, absolutely stunning.
But, you know, you have seen many matches in Sharjah. Do you think it was possible because of a small ground and the dew factor coming into play towards the end? Because it was pretty pathetic and pedestrian bowling by the Punjab side.
Listen, the fact that such a score has never ever been chased down shows that this was special. You know, this is the highest ever run chase in the IPL in 13 years. And each year has 60 matches. So look at the stats. It is very improbable for a team to, you know, overcome 232. And the game seemed lost at one stage. But you must say that this was a game played in the same fashion from ball one. You know, there's no building up, you know, taking the score higher. From the beginning, the teams were scoring at 10 runs and over. And even in the power play, there were 60 and 69.
Right.
So it's amazing level of skill on display. Fantastic classical batting by, you know, KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal and Steven Smith and Samson. At the same time, amazing power hitting at the end. You know, you don't expect Tewatia to hit 5 sixes. You don't expect Archer to come in and hit 2 sixes straight away. He did it in this game also. But it just shows how the game has evolved. And on a small ground like Sharjah, the bowlers was, but still,
Archer, Archer came down.
The batsman to make it possible.
Archer came down and he was in the 5th gear. But we'll have to talk a little bit about Sanju Samson. Anis, do you think that this is Sanju Samson 2.0? Because what we had seen in the past years is very different from what we are seeing him right now.
Well, Rika, I will beg to differ on this. Every year he has been playing so well. What is, you know, best part about this young boy is that his shots are all graceful. You enjoy watching it. There's no slogging. There's pure timing and grace. Like I mentioned last time, he reminds me of Rohit Sharma, the pure grace and timing. That silk touch, as I said in the afternoon, you know, it's like the butter coming out. I mean, he's a treat to watch on his day. Small ground, big ground. You have to give him the long rope. And India now cannot wait that, no, we will give another chance to Pant. Okay, you better have a competition between Pant and Sanju Samson so that both strive for that place and you get the best wicketkeeper batsman for India.
Amrit, would you say the same for Mayank Agarwal, given that, you know, he's become a better batsman in T20 cricket after his Test debut? In fact, his T20 average has gone up after he has become a permanent fixture in the Test side.
No, I agree with the view that Sanju Samson is perhaps batting at his best at the moment. His touch is amazing, his timing is superb, and he does remind you of Rohit Sharma in terms of fluency. I think the same about Mayank Agarwal. His innings today was very accomplished, as it was in the first game, and they lost narrowly, Kings 11. So I think we are seeing batting of a very high order. Batsmen are fearless. They know exactly what the roles are. They know exactly when to accelerate. I think it's very organized, accomplished, sorted batting which you are seeing. At the same time, you must also, give credit to somebody like, not credit, but I think you must have sympathy for Kings. They won one game out of three, where with some they could have won all three. Yeah. They lost narrowly they lost a game.
It was heartbreaking in the beginning and heartbreaking today as well, the way they lost, you would say.
They played well, but if you see the results, they are 1 out of 3, and that could be trouble in a 14-match tournament. And so that's how cricket goes, and that's how T20 goes. But I think we saw very good quality cricket today, and a terrific T20 contest in terms of fluctuations, in terms of how the teams are doing, and a fantastic result in the end, which was at one time totally unexpected, because the Kings had the game in control, I think around the 15th, 16th over, but then just maybe 2 overs, one of Cottrell and the later one, which changed the game altogether.
Anis, would you say the testimony to that, the fact that this was a very good contest and a very high level of T20 cricket, was Nicholas Pooran's save?
Well, you can say this was one of the finer silver linings of Nicholas Pooran's save, where you rarely see that. You have seen a lot of blinders taken in IPL cricket, but this was one of the saves which saved 6 runs. In fact, there are many instances when Punjab saved a lot of boundaries. So at that time, I felt that this few saves by Punjab would probably save them the game. But history has something else written for Tewatia. And you have to take your hat down and say, God has done justice. Because I'll just share quickly, we remember about Yuvraj Singh's struggle in that 2014 World Cup, where people were saying, why is he not getting out? Why is he not getting out? And that's what happens, that you want the player to come out, but that you're not supposed to do that. Either you get out or you play out dot balls. And today was a case where that he was going on playing dot balls, and then it changed all in Cottrell's over.
Right. What we saw was incredible. The highest run chase, highest successful run chase in the history of IPL. Several records were broken today. And KL Rahul, let me show you one of the stats from this match that does matter, and probably you will be happy to know about it, that KL Rahul, the captain of Kings 11 Punjab, or the Punjab team, has scored his 17th IPL half century. Of course, Steve Smith scored his 10th. There were several half centuries scored in the match, but KL Rahul followed up from where he had left off. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the show this evening.